I got to say, there's been some poaching going on. Y'all have been stealing my questions. But as I've informed the candidates, these are not softball. These are questions from Republican hardcore, so they are hardball. Starting with you, Mr. Hanley. The Fulton County GOP has a substantial amount of money in a trust for the party. How are those funds used to help candidates, and how many seats did you win for candidates in Fulton County in this last election cycle?
Well, Fulton County, if it was a state, it'd be the 43rd largest state in the country. It's 57 miles long, and we right now hold on to seats. As many as 9 legislators, either Republican legislators, are elected to represent all of Fulton County or parts of it. So we haven't added any new seats, and basically Fulton County is basically a red versus blue area. When you get north of the river, you're holding seats, and hopefully we'll be picking some up in the redistricting and adding a few. When you're south of there, you're into the area where it's as deep blue as you can get. So we haven't been able to pick up any seats in the lower south. Now, how do you get the money on that? It's simple. The operating committee makes the decision. I think we tried to get a certain amount of money for our 2 commission candidates, and it was a 40-4 vote that they were able to get a certain allocated amount of money. The trust is something that was given to the party about 5 years ago now, and because the trust has its own rules, I'm not allowed to get into too many specifics on how the trust is used. But certainly, the operating committee, it's their decision. It's not the chairman's decision.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Pridemore, another hardball one. Who paid for the helicopter you traveled in with the governor last Saturday, and how much money was spent?
It's a privately owned helicopter by Chris Riley, and I have not received the donation slip yet for the fuel and the time. So, but I will.
Well, okay, I'm going to jump in here again. Questions for all 3 of you. At some point, will you make public who is giving you money for all your campaigns? We'll start with Pridemore. Ms. Pridemore, 30 seconds.
Absolutely. People have always spent money contesting chairs races in this state. You look back at history, I am committed to raising money. I believe that it shows that I have the ability to raise money. As far as our campaign goes on. Again, I stand by that. If somebody wants to donate me time in their helicopter, I'll accept it. I'm proud of it. I'm thankful that people care that much.
Mr. Hanley, will you make your contribution public?
Absolutely. I'm not getting into a helicopter. I'll take my 1997 Beater Lexus and show that I'm a little bit more grassroots. But I'll tell you, we've had a total of 3 fundraisers. I think we're the only candidate. I mean, Chairman Everhart may be raising some money. I know Tricia, did very good in her business life, so she doesn't have to raise quite as much money as others. But I'll, at the right time, when the law says to show it, I'll show it.
I'm not sure that there is a law.
Well, we'll be happy to show it. All we got.
Ms. Everhart.
I have not held a fundraiser. I've depended on my friends to support me, make phone calls for me, and help me. I can tell you today who people that have given me money. I can count on these hands, and it's not a lot of money. But I don't ask for money either. I ask for this non-paid job, and I don't expect my friends in grassroots to fund it.
Okay, now we're going to get back on track, and I think, Ms. Everhart, we owe you a question. As chairman of the state GOP, your name and your picture appears on a whole lot of material that shot out to the Republican rank and file. Does that give you an unfair advantage when it comes to communicating with people who will be voting at the convention?
No. It probably, if anything, it probably hurts you, because a lot of people get things with my name on it they're not happy to receive. And my name is not on it because I want my name out there, and I'm real proud of the name C.P. Everhart. I am proud to be C.P. Everhart. But it is a requirement by the state ethics and the federal FEC. So it has to be there, but no, I don't think it gives me an unfair advantage.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Hanley, second round of questions here. With the younger upcoming factions within the GOP also becoming more moderate on many social issues, combined with the Tea Party movement's emphasis on fiscal issues, what do you see as the future of social conservatism within this GOP?
Well, we're social conservatism. I don't think we're going to move at all to the left. If anything, we've got a problem with elected officials that are taking us even closer to the middle. One of the first things we've got to do is engage the younger folks. It's going to happen with a little bit more technology as they want to get a little bit more involved. The outreach we have to do. I understand that the urban areas of the planet keep stretching and keep stretching. Trust me, I have an 11-year-old girl that comes home from school that some of the more inappropriate actions by teachers when they should be calling us. And you talk about conservatism in young people. My wife started a Patriots night over at the headquarters that just focuses on bringing young children into the party. They have to be potty trained. That's the one thing that my wife makes sure of. And from 2 on up, she hosts this about once a month because they're missing the idea of actually focusing on getting a basic learning of the Constitution. And that's something that my wife is pushing. So,
okay, we're going to spread this question around to the other two candidates. Are conservative Christians losing clout in the state GOP, Ms. Everhart?
They certainly are not. And the day that we lose our conservative values is the day that we will no longer be a successful Republican Party. We and we always do it. That doesn't mean that if a moderate wants to come into the party and vote Republican, that we don't accept them. We don't turn people away. But the basic values of the party are getting stronger every day, and nothing has made the conservative values of this party more important and more successful than Barack Obama.
Ms. Pridemore, your turn.
I believe in Galatians 5:1 because it is for freedom that Christ set us free. I am social conservative and I'm very proud of it. I also happen to be under 40. Barely. Hang on to it, but I think correct. But I firmly believe in Ronald Reagan's 80% rule. If you agree with me 80% of the time, you're Republican.
Thank you. Back in our cycle here, I think Ms. Pridemore, I think it's your turn. Should Republican candidates continue to be required to pledge an oath of loyalty to the party in order to qualify? What, if any, changes should be made to the current loyalty oath?
I believe they should pledge the oath. I think that the oath is very important. I think that it helps us as grassroots activists understand the hearts and the intentions of those people that want to run the Republican banner. I also happen to think that in many ways, the oath as it stands is in good shape.
You guys are killing me with these short answers. Ms. Everhart, question for you here. And this, you've addressed a little bit of this, but we'd like to explore it a little bit more. Last year, the state party made yard signs for Johnny Isakson and Nathan Deal, put them right next to each other. They were all over my neighborhood. Why was not the same thing done with GOP reserves with Mike in the Mike Cowan 2nd district race?
Okay, we had two statewide races that were going. One was federal and one was state. We were going to have to spend the federal dollars, so therefore we could go ahead and lump that all together and not have to take money out of state coffers to buy the signs because it was, we had to pay for it with federal, so why not have two names on it? Kill two birds with one stone. Mike Cowan, he was up and down the southern part, and the 8th district was in Middle Georgia. They would not have been the signs, would have been useless. Why would you put a sign Cowan Scott in the 8th district or Scott Cowan in the 2nd district? We could have saved a lot of money doing something like that, but it would have been ludicrous.
Okay. Mr. Hanley, I think it's your, Shawn, I think it's your turn here. Am I right? I'm kind of, okay, I think so. I think we're here. Let me see here. Okay. You guys are just eating my, oh, here we go. All right.
I'm done already, sir?
No, we're not done. The Republican Party is on top of Georgia politics right now, but the U.S. Census figures released last week show that very clearly the end of that dominance is in sight if the GOP cannot make stronger gains, not just among African Americans, but Hispanics who right now are the target of many of anti-illegal immigration laws. So this is the you've already told us what you've done in the Fulton with the Fulton County party. What would you do with the state party, and how would you address that delicate question of the Hispanic vote?
Sure. I think one of the problems that we had as a party over the last 5 to 10 years, certainly since, well, I'm going to get a lot of trouble from Saxon's office, but ever since he was in that convention 4 years ago, and they started to embrace McCain's immigration bill, that was the beginning of the downfall. Not with the Republican Party and illegal immigrants, but with the Republican Party and the legal immigrants that were here, the legal Hispanics. That was a real hit for us. And we've got a lot. Well, if you take a look at my website, we address this very specific issue on all minorities, and especially Hispanics. First thing I'd like to do on day one if elected, to put a committee together. The most important thing I think you have in a chairman is not that they have all the answers, but they put the right people around them. We need to put that committee together of demographers, political scientists, pastors from churches, Hispanic Chamber of Commerce members, Asian Chamber of Commerce members, and we need to give them 60 days. That's why the plan is called 6 and 60. You got 60 days to come back so we can address with the state committee, the executive committee, on how to best focus on these issues. Now, we'll have a whole separate subcommittee on Hispanics. Basically, we need to be told the specifics, where the population growth is, what kind of resources we need to go in, and how we're going to get them.
Thank you. Let's stay on this issue of Hispanics and the Republican Party. Ms. Everhart, how do you go after them? 30 seconds for both you and Ms. Pridemore.
We have the coalitions we've had ever since I've been elected, and we do outreach to these groups. We've made great strides in GOP and the Asian American community. We've made some in the Hispanic community, not as much as we would like. And then we're starting to see a rise in African Americans. We've done very well with the Pakistani, the Afghanistan group. We're still working on all of that to increase it all the time. But the main thing.
Oops, yep, we got time here. Ms. Pridemore.
That same census data showed that 1 in 10 Georgians is now a legally immigrated Hispanic. 2 in 10 people in Gwinnett County are legal Hispanics as well. I believe that Hispanic outreach is one of the areas where we have been in the past, and it's time for us to send a clear message based on policy, what the position of the Republican Party is relative to illegal immigration, and how we are the party for legal Hispanic immigrants all across the state.
Yeah, do you want an extra 15 seconds here?
Thank you. How many?
Short.
It is crucial, and I opened up with this. We will be a blue state in 10 years if we don't do something about it. We're the only ones with a real plan. We can't just constantly go saying we're doing outreach and going here and talking to groups. We need specifics. We need a detailed plan. That's why our plan does get detailed. Not just lay members, but which type of committee members you need on, where you got to go, where you can get them.
Okay, all right, okay.